この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here today for End of Eva. End of Evangelion. Couple things to talk about before we get into this. The first thing is, what version am I using? I am using the Kami V2 version in BD 1080p AAC, all that jazz. I chose the Kami version. There were we had a long discussion about this in the Discord, because I just was like, hey, which version should I use? Does anybody know of, like, the best version? And some people, GK, Hilton, some other people were all in there figuring out whether this or the Sephirotic version would be ideal for our purposes. And the conclusion that they came to was the Sephirotic version has 26 or 25, whatever the symbol is supposed to be spoken as, degrees? I don't know. It would be degrees if it was math, but I don't know. It has the two parts separate, and it doesn't have whatever titles are in between them, and apparently that's, like, an important part of the intended experience. The Kami version, on the other hand, has it all smushed together, and the titles are there. This, like, interlude that is apparently there. I'm using... I don't know anything about it other than that. So the decision that was made by me was the Kami release. Hopefully the subs are acceptable. If there are mistranslations anywhere, go ahead and let me know in the comments. That would be really helpful. Then I can get a better idea. Regardless, this should be better translations than whatever the original DVD translations were. That's what I've heard. I'm blind. People in the Discord did a good job of keeping me blind, so thank you for that. I love you all. Yay. So the second thing to talk about is how I interpreted Eva episodes 25 and 26. And yeah, so this is interesting because most of the people in the Discord had a very different reading of it than I did. And it's quite possible that their readings have been influenced by seeing EOE. If you missed it, I read 26 as Shinji accepting instrumentality and being welcomed into the collective. That was what I read the Omedetou scene as. I've since gone back, and this morning I rewatched 25 and 26, and I came away with the same reading. I see where the other reading could be there, but... Well, let's take it from this perspective. Instead of trying to defend a reading of a piece of media, which is silly in its own right, the fact that I'm able to read it both ways is a problem. It sort of speaks to how nebulous and how confusing this ending could have been, especially if you were watching this while it aired and you didn't know that there would be a finale, a final movie. And we're waiting more than a day between finishing the series and going into EOE. Like, waiting a full year. And apparently there were, like, riots and people drawing shit on Gainax headquarters and, like, death threats being sent to Anno because people were so pissed about this ending. Now, I thought the ending was pretty awesome as far as, especially after rewatching it, as far as a piece of contemplative media and something to watch and experience and read into as much as you want to. But I did find the actual ending of it to be extremely vague, and I can't help but read it as Shinji accepting instrumentality, or whatever we're calling this what is it? Not filling each other's gaps. Gendo calls it this right in the end. Completing each other. It starts with a C. I don't even remember. Complementation. Accepting complementation. Accepting the others. Which, I get it. It doesn't work with some of the other stuff earlier in the episode. Like Shinji saying, I want to be me, and this sort of individualist slant. But that's why I felt so confused by the ending, was, like, I read that stuff as building toward an individualist, like, scream love at the center of the world, and then the final ending appears to be Shinji inside the instrumentality space being accepted by everybody into it. Like, his mom is right there and she's clapping at him. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, all of this is just to say that, yeah, if this was the end of the series and that was all that there was, I would be kind of disappointed, and it might even tarnish my opinion of the rest of the show. Which is tough to say because the show as a whole has been stellar, and I think the last episodes work, but whatever the point that was trying to be made was kind of lost in a sea of sort of self-congratulatory psychoanalysis, like going through and psychoanalyzing the characters for the sake of doing so. It's interesting and it's a really pretty beautifully done, but I don't think it effectively says something. It says many things, and some of them are contradictory, and it's really hard to figure out what it's actually trying to get at. So, that going in is my, like, I'm hoping that Eva fills those gaps. That End of Eva fills those gaps. I'm hoping that End of Eva gives a more clear-cut picture of what was going on and is able to express a specific point instead of a nebulous batch of concepts. Because that's what, after rewatching 25 and 26, that's what it felt like we were doing. It felt like we were expressing a bunch of interesting but rather disconnected, nebulous psychological and philosophical concepts. And while they might have some kind of thematic link, they didn't have a narrative link that made a lot of sense to me and told a complete story. So, that's where I'm coming at End of Eva from. I thought I would let you know because it created a really interesting discussion in the Discord, because I came at it like, well, I read it this way, and people were like, wait, what? How did you read it that way? Because I've read it the completely opposite way, and there are multiple pages of people just, like, screaming in the Discord, and like, what the fuck? So, it was an interesting night, and I slept on it, and rewatched it this morning, came away with the same reading, but a better understanding of how it could be read what I think is the intended way, and I think that Shinji rejecting instrumentality is the intended reading. It's just not the reading that I came to. It's not the understanding of the episodes that I came to, which in and of itself is kind of a knock against it. It's like, the point was unclear enough. Like, okay, and granted, I might just be stupid. That's fair. I might have just misread everything twice. But why was I able to? How was the core point able, like, how was I able to so badly misinterpret the core point? That says something about the piece of media itself. And I'm not saying that it's wrong or it's bad or anything, it's just that it resonated with me in the opposite way that it intended to. That's a problem. Like, if you watch a shonen action series and it depresses you, there's an issue. Anyway. So, yeah, again, that's how I'm coming at End of Eva. So, this version of End of Eva is the Kami Blu-ray disc 1080p V2 version. Whatever that means. We'll do multiple versions as before. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I've got space on my hard drive to keep recording all night if I want to. We'll see. I would assume that I'm probably going to end up talking for at least an hour after the video finishes. But it's an hour, 26 minutes, and 47 seconds. Yikes. It's all one video. There won't be any break in between. We'll just play it from start to finish and then go back. I will take notes during this. I won't be trying to write everything down, but especially in a piece this long, I need something to ground myself. And taking notes during watching movies is just something that I do. So, I'll record the notes as well, and if I actually end up taking any, then I'll edit them in, and if I don't end up taking any, then you won't see them. Just won't worry about it. I'm gonna put my phone off. It's blowing up because Discord is being lame. So I'm just gonna put it on airplane mode and put it over here so that it stays quiet. And close Discord on my computer. Okay. So, there will be multiple versions of this video as usual. There will be more than multiple versions. There are going to be a lot of versions of this video because I want to make sure that anybody who wants to watch this reaction and whatever can do so. So, there will be the normal timer-based version on YouTube, and that will be the place where the whole thing, all its glory, will be. I'll put timestamps to the beginning of the reaction and the beginning of the discussion in the description. There will also be picture-in-picture versions of the video, with the video up here. Those will be available on, at the very least, one version on BitChute and one version on Mega, and this will be the same video, still in 1080p, and we'll see how big that gets, and it'll just be the section with the video in it. And what I think I'm going to do is I'll encode one of those to pretty good quality, and it'll probably come out to like 3 gigabytes, which will be too much, and it will hit the bandwidth cap if you watch that version. I will record another one, or I will render out another one to significantly decreased quality, and that will be also viewable on Mega in browser and all that stuff, but it'll be a much smaller file. And I will render out a third one to same pretty good quality, but 265 encoded, which will mean extremely decreased file sizes, but you will definitely have to download it off of Mega to play it. Does this make sense? This way, I'll list all of these in the description, and you can go and get them. But, like, if you're cool with downloading it and playing it in your own media player, the 265 version is probably the best version. If you want to watch it online without any interruptions by Mega's bandwidth cap, the low-quality Mega version or the BitChute version would probably be your best version. Regardless, the discussion will be on the YouTube video, so watch the PiP and then come back to the YouTube video, or sync up the YouTube video with your own media and use the timers. It's going to be a long video. I've got a full bottle of water and I'm ready to go. So, blah, 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 blah. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. It's greatly appreciated. If you hate it, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs down. I don't mind. It's totally fine. If you could leave me a comment letting me know why you dislike it, that would be really helpful because then I can improve in the future, especially on these like movie-length reactions. I don't do a lot of them, but there are some shows like K-On! Movie I'm going to end up watching, so I'd like to know how the format works out for you. If you're not subbed and you want more content like this, I am going to be making it, and we're going to be voting for a replacement for Ava at some point. So, you might want to be subbed. If you are subbed and you're not getting my if you are subbed and you're not getting my content, the bell might be able to help you with that. Maybe. If YouTube decides to cooperate. If you really like this content or want to discuss this kind of stuff in the Discord, or want to vote in polls for what I watch next, or you just want early access when I make weekly stuff, patreon.com/Teeaboo is a place where you can go to throw me a couple of bucks and get all of those things, and it's great. You should have seen a shout out at the very beginning of this video, and at the beginning of all of the picture-in-picture versions, to a couple of cool cats who give me who keep me fed, basically. They're cool, and I really appreciate them. Okay. Finally, 15 minutes of recording. Ah! End of Ava. Kami, 1080p, 1 hour, 26 minutes, 47 seconds total. Here we go, boys. Let me open a new notepad. Zoom it in a little bit. Okie dokie. Beep beep timer goes here. Katakawa? Kadokawa, TV Tokyo, and Sega. Interesting. Oh. Movik. Start with the live action sequence. Interesting. Oh no, this is yeah. Of course, this is. It's been a while since I've seen a Japanese movie. That's a lot of logos. A New Century Evangelion theatrical version. Okay. So we open on the water. Who's she? Oh. Is that LCL? Oopies. Confronted with his own sexuality. Unfamiliar ceiling. Is he? Yep. Hell of a way to cold open. Okay. So instrumentality hasn't begun yet. Will of Huey. Hooray in the moonlight. And the glasses are fully shattered. He's got an upgrade. Nope, never mind. Misato gone rogue. Hmm. Hmm. God, this is a hell of a scene. So nerve against the world. This is tense as hell. Oh. You're using that. What do the invasion forces consist of? Oh. Soldiers. Planes, tanks, automobiles. Okay. Indeed. Enemy is an enemy. But what are they fighting to protect? Wow, what a scene. Ah. Is that why she wakes up? Finding herself within an Eva? At the bottom of the lake. This was the Eva graveyard, right? So where's Shinji? Oh, fuck. Great faces. So, Shinji in a corner. I don't think they're taking prisoners. Preparing. Too late now. Love is destructive. Oh, are these the dissolving rays? Yes. No surrender. Definitely no surrender. Terminate Ava pilots. Oh shit. Misato? Yep. Cool scene. You need the Avas. Ah, and the Maggie. Well, speak of the devil. Ha! Oh. Those are all Ava spines. God, this scene is so fucking cool. This is the fog with the branches? So they know. And she awakens. Not God. That's Asuka. Awakened. Oh my. Oh my Asuka. Oh. Just like the. Like the angel. Oh, fuck. Oh, holy shit. Oh, holy shit. Well, it's delivering on the premise of giant robots smashing things. Ah! Ah! Oh my god. How will you do that? That's a lot of ships. What the fuck is that? What the fuck are those? What the fuck are those? His sound design is awesome. They're equipped with S2 engines? And wings. Which fold up angel way. Oh god, they're like Nomus. That's a lot of Avas to destroy. Without enough time. Come on. Come on, you. Yeah, easier said than done. She revels in it, though. Yeah, she revels in the challenge. Oh, fuck. Done, on to the next one. We saw her corpse somewhere near here. Smack. She gives him the necklace. Okay. Okay. And she knows she's dying. Huh. The pain. Oh my god. Prog knife broke. Grabbed like the first angel. Oh my god. Oh my god, the scale. Alright, Baka Shinji. Get in the robot. Hello, Lilith. She going to try to kill Ray? Yep. Or to kill Gendo. Oh my god. Hmm. The fuck did you do? Didn't work. And Ray is there as well. Saw that. Shinji, are you actually just sitting there? Whoa. What? What? Where did the Spear of Longinus come from? Oh, she is actually bleeding. S2 engines? Oh, no. Well, that's not good. Oh my god. What? Ava, get to you. Another cross. The wings. Interesting. So these are the central titles. Holy fuck. The titles in a helix. gorgeous. There were a lot of frames that were like one frame shots in 25 and 26, like the broken mug on the floor. While Gendo talks about humans being fragile creatures. Sorry that I'm not talking too much. I'm just trying to take it all in. Here we go. The end of. Right. Oh. Ray? Oh. Only thing keeping her in her shape. The real spear. I crucifying the Ava, chomping down on its AT-field wings. Like the eyes on Lilith. Ah. That's the symbol of Kabbalah, right? I don't know about that, man. An eye? A great eye. A crater? Oh. Black moon. Backfire. Lilith awakened. And the mask falling off. It's Big Ray. Really Big Ray. Whoa. Okay. Really Big Ray. Through the destruction of his ego. Yeah, I feel you, Shinji. That's a lot of rays. Oh, hi, Koru. Same being, different face. What? Oh, that is the decision to be made. And here we are in the room, right? No. The pendulum. What was that? Alone creating. Huh. The geofront? And then emptiness. Starting again. Sato and Kaji. This is much more subtle. Not subtle, nuanced. Hmm. Wow, that was a hell of a depth of field shot. I feel a pathetic incoming. Yep. Who will help you if you don't help yourself? Oh my god, this music choice. Ah! Holy crap. That was fantastic. Okay. Everyone becoming LCL. And he imagines it as Misato. Pop. Oh! swirling of souls. God, this is fucking stunning. Well, that's a vagina. Ah! Okay. The exit symbol. Back to live action. A real electrical tower. Oh, that's really effective. Is that? Yes. Huh. Ah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a much more clear-cut choice. Very slightly off-center. Beautiful. Oh my god. It's the egg shatters. And bleeds the souls back out. Oh my god, that is beautifully horrifying. Power to create your own flow of time. Right. Stigmata. Colorless stone. Is Huey? Good. Okay. Wow. One more final, I need you. The sea now red. Ah. Another. Hey, Ray. Bye, Ray. Will he choose to reach out? Is he strangling her again? It really did require this whole runtime to wrap up and everything in what might feel like a satisfactory way. And I think it did that. The rejection of instrumentality is crystal clear. And I think the division of the film into the two parts was intelligent. The first part being almost entirely like in the real world. Things happening. Explaining what was going down at Nerve headquarters. And the second part being a lot more in the realm of metaphor. The shit gets crazy part. We open on a whole bunch of familiar scenes. The hospital. The water. Shinji in this lake. This particular torn down telephone pole. And then Shinji rubs one out over Asuka. Libido and self-hatred. There was this other thing that was brought up explicitly, and it was misspelled as distrato, but I think it's meant to be distrudo, because the libido distrudo relationship, libido like sexual libido, but also like will to life, and then distrudo, which can be like death wish, but it's also just the will to destroy. That's definitely something that Shinji embodies. But we start with him in a moment of libido that leads to his internal like destructiveness. He's crying out, reaching out, just wanting her to help him. Help me, help me, help me. And then pulls her over and is overwhelmed by her nakedness. And then we hear the voiceover. It's explicit. He jerks off over her. Door locked. And he calls himself... How disgusting, right? I'm so fucked up. Even better. Yeah, Shinji's self-hatred is... That's a core theme. Destruction is the same as rebirth. The fate of destruction is the same as the joy of rebirth. This film is gorgeous all the way through. Really just stunning. The way that the light really feels like it's physical and in front of this wall, not cast onto it, but angel rays coming through. I don't even know how that's possible, but it's fucking beautiful. And the way it lines up with this thing over her bed. Really gorgeous. Clouds in the moon. These clouds are incredible too. And we see that the glasses are completely shattered now. No longer in pieces. Shinji starts off in his own world again. Battery on his Walkman is dead. Not listening to anything. And the lake is there. Misato is sort of gone rogue, I guess. I don't know what she's doing. She's searching through through databases. Let's see what this is. Huh? What? What? Producing animated features? What? Feature film by the toy maker Bandai Corp. Hold on. Google. Google what? Gehirn Honeamize no second impact. What? The Wings of Honeamize. It's a Gainax feature debut. The animated science fiction film directed by Hiroyuki Yamaga. Grossed only modestly in the box office. Uh-huh. Gehirn was founded and the animation production company and what? Topowarai. NHK anime TV series Nadia. What? Otaku no Video and Second Impact. But in this case, Second Impact is referring to what? To Daikon? Tokusatsu live action Adam. And Ava OO Ultraman Returns. A parody of the Yamato Orochi. What the hell is this? The animation short that aired at the convention's opening. This feature was produced completely independently of any professional studios specifically for this convention. This is talking about Daikon 4. Running some 5 minutes, took the conventions. Yeah, it took them an entire summer to finish. Several art college students who had acquired some knowledge, however small, of anime production. The core members opened Second Impact, an Adam specialty shop. But in this case, Adam being anime. What the hell? All this text on screen is self-referential Gainax stuff. What? So the conceit of this first section is the JSDF is sending shitloads of shit. Oh, I love this one shot of Fuyutsuki. Yeah. I love this shot. I don't know why, but I love it. I don't know what I love about it, but I love it. I love the way that the cells slide over each other. It's just, it feels right. And I love this use of depth of field on Fuyutsuki to Gendo, because we're, like, this whole time, I'm waiting for it to switch to Gendo. Waiting, and then it does it. After he cues it with his eyes. It's fucking gorgeous. So they call Akagi in, and she remarks about it. Oh, this hair band pull is pretty dope. Yes, we're gonna do this for the whole movie. Oh my god, this walking scene. Oh, it's like, I don't want to crop it. Default. Thank you. It's like 2001 A Space Odyssey hallway? Yeah. It's kind of like that. I guess it's not really like that. It's that, but reversed and very different and not octagonal. It's not a hallway, it's like the airlock thing, right? Yeah. Whatever, that's what it made me think of. It's fucking awesome. And actually, just the perspective on the animation here is really incredible. The way her arm is foreshortened as it gets closer. God, that's so good. Again, I said it before, everything is fucking gorgeous. So here, yeah, we find out later that this scene, Akagi is doing as she was ordered to protect the Magi, but also reprogramming it to, I assume, self-destruct. The Magi was just foreplay, right? An invasion. Okay. That works on that level too. You have both Adam and Lilith, right? Defense program in place. See you soon, mother. Oh, because she's expecting to die. Oh, that recontextualizes that. Very difficult to breach. We won't be able to get the Magi. Launch the invasion forces. So we send in the soldiers. These backgrounds are pretty cool. These tanks are super cool. The action set piece spectacle is just continuous. It's just continuous. And it's not even the climax of the film, not even close. There's this conflict of like humans against humans, especially embodied by this one character, I don't remember her name, who's unwilling to fight against humans. But then again, we find out later that angels are children of Lilith or children of Adam, just like we are, so they're just possible. They're essentially the same organisms, and yet they cannot live with each other. Different possibilities. Incompatible. Tons of rockets, tons of particles, tons of shit. Oh, this scene. This almost silent scene where this character's just standing there and a guy with a knife just sort of appears behind him. Hello. Yeah, the stark silence and the echoes of the action. Super brutal, and it's just, this is, again, just foreplay, right? Just the start of what comes. Because what comes is absolute brutality. This scene with is really striking. With the holes just appearing in this truck. And the sort of faceless soldiers coming in, often shown by their shadows, or as just almost blobs. So we get Rei into Unit 2, and that's where she awakens. Or they get Asuka into Unit 2. Derp. Not Rei. Rei is missing. Because she's down there. And then this is, yeah, the Kabbalah thing. This thing. This thing. Crown, understanding, wisdom, strength, kindness, beauty, splendor, eternity, foundation, kingship. Or something. Something like that. But yeah, that's this thing. And this is that thing. Interesting. And her clothes and shoes folded neatly over to the side. I thought when we were first introduced to this place with these pits in the ground that we were told that that was the graveyard of the Avas. I don't know. So we launched the unit to hold it, and Shinji is in trouble. So Misato's on her way. Our defeat has become inevitable. And then Gendo just pieces out and trusts Fuyutsuki to trusts everything to Fuyutsuki. Give my regards to Yui. So he knows this plan. He knows what's going on. Then we get more action set piece spectacle stuff, and it's fucking balls to the wall. Really high production value. And all of it is just setting the stage, barely. Oh, yeah, we get some classic brutality here. This woman dragging the corpse of a friend. This guy just sort of stops in the middle of his run to gun down a non-combatant. They're just it's actually kind of ridiculous. I think they're trying to show this being kind of ridiculous. Just shooting up a wall full of electrical wires, just blasting flames into a room, and we hear intermittent screaming from the room, right? It's almost absurdist. Ah! It's almost absurd in how hyper-violent it is. Certainly more horrifying in terms of visible scope than any of the angel attacks. Yes, we've seen angel attacks that cause massive destruction on a wide scale, but we don't see people getting individually killed by them. That's left to the humans. So we fill everything with bakelite or plastic in this case, which makes for a really amazing set of scenes. Just figuring out where the water levels are as all these weird shapes are consumed, if you will, by the redness. It's really interesting. And it sort of sets up the flood of LCL that occurs later. We figure out where Shinji is. They prepare for battle. And all of this was planned from the start. Can't pull the trigger. I can't shoot people. Love is destructive. Rei before the rays. And this is a scene that we saw, the flash of it where he walks up to her. We saw during this scene we were inside Rei's head. wondering who am I, and affirming that I am the thing called Rei Ayanami, and we are all the things called Rei Ayanami. The time has come. Death, death, death. Surrender? No. Definitely no. Terminate Ava pilots on site, and they find Shinji, and it's a perfect setup. Gun to the head, nothing personnel, kid. And boom, it's Misato. Super interesting camera motion, and then Misato running at the camera. Pretty neat. Lots of shaky cam there. Nothing personnel, kid. Yeah. Yeah. Badass action hero Misato strikes again. And now she has to deal with practically catatonic Shinji, who's just like so overwhelmed with self-hatred and feeling useless and bullshit. And a lot of the stuff that was said by Misato in Shinji's head in 2526 is now said explicitly by Misato trying to get Shinji to get off his ass and get in the robot. And he's just pining for Asuka, which is strange. Why does he go to Asuka for help? I wonder. I want to die. I don't want to do anything. Get moving and do something. You can die later. Shinji's wrapped up in this idea that he'll cause everyone pain. We see this reflected in Gendo later, which was really a revealing moment of understanding that Gendo is very much a Shinji. That it's cyclical. Yeah, things would get bad if they used N2 mines. Hey! Boom. Destruction like crazy. Explosion like crazy. And destruction of the top of the pyramid. An open ring with water pouring in. And then just waves upon waves of missiles. Insanity. Then we drive past all of these gigantic spinal columns of rejected Avas. Trial, reject. They're all sitting in LCL. Second impact was intentionally engineered by mankind. Right, there were flashes here. Oh, there was one. Okay, that was just a... Oh, it's literally one frame. It's not one frame, it's like 2 or 3. Okay, so that's the image of the heat image of the impact. 3 frames. Then there's another one. Yeah. Intentionally engineered by mankind. Then we get Atom, Beetle Atom, lots of graves. I think that was a DNA type E Cody thingy. We are the 18th angel. I'm sorry, I don't remember that line. What? Had to reduce Adam to an embryonic state before the other angels awoke. Mankind was spawned from a being called Lilith, just like Adam was, so Adam is also a child of Lilith. Oh. We are the 18th angel. Oh. That was a flash of RWBY and Kaoru. Ah, fuck. Kaoru, RWBY. Gotcha. We can't coexist even though we're fundamentally the same creatures. Again, this sort of feeds into my my male and female angels versus humans kind of thing that I talked about at the beginning of the 25 and 26 reactions. That it works as a metaphor there. Angels and humans as masculine and feminine and being unable to coexist. Despite being fundamentally the same. I think you could make that work. You have to destroy the rest of the Eva series. It's the only way to stay alive. But what's the point of being alive? Shinji just expressed desire to die. I want to die. I don't want to do anything. Oh, God, this scene is so cool. I don't know if I can express to you how cool I find this scene. With the sound design on the freaking pendulum, and like, it's just so meaty. It's just, I had trouble even paying attention to the dialogue in this scene because this pendulum swinging is just so fucking weighty. Legit mesmerizing. I love it. And it's also kind of a mirror to the swing set that we see later, with Shinji playing in the sandbox. All we have left to do is destroy Nerve headquarters. That might be harder than you think. Germany or China begin redevelopment. We won't make the same mistake twice. Make sure no one can touch it for the next 20 years like old Tokyo. So, nuke it into oblivion. And then this scene here is very reminiscent of the fog that Shinji wakes up in, with the branches and the white fog. Yeah. And they keep calling it the purple unit instead of Unit 1. I wonder why. Then we meet Asuka, and she's just chanting to herself, I don't want to die. And getting bombarded and screaming. Yeah, I don't want to die, 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 I don't want to die. And then her mother's voice comes in. And it's interesting because it's both, I will protect you, you mustn't die yet, and also die with me. Don't die. I will protect you. You're still alive, I won't let you die. Please die with me. You mustn't die yet, I won't let you die, I will protect you. You must live. I don't want to die. And I assumed these were all flashes of, oh man. Okay, imagining herself as a corpse with maggots crawling out of her eyes. That's nightmare fuel. And just inverses the child her with the stuffed animal screaming. Sterben, Death Wish, right? Yeah, some of the frames from that sequence. Herself as the doll exploding. the doll hanging. Then the whoosh of the waves. Did VLC just break? Yes, it did. 2406. I have to process manager kill it. God damn it. Okay. 2406. Nice. And it's her mom, I guess. Mama, you've been here all along? And we get this sort of reminiscent of Adam and God. And her hand grows up as she's pulled out. The Ava awakens. She awakens with it. The classic cross thing. And badass action begins with Asuka chucking a ship around. Blocking some missiles, no problem. Chucking a ship. Fuck you. Fuck you, military. Explosion. Explosion. Asuka understands the meaning of AT field. We get an Itano Circus. Possibly actually animated by Itano. I don't know. She's like elated. It's so weird. It's weird. She is elated to be fighting and destroying lives. We get a mirror to the first angel with the rocket. Oh my god. Oof. Just shatters. Yeah, that is very much a mirror to the first angel with the rocket, and it's awesome. And it's sort of a, I don't know, like she says stuff like, we were always together, mama, and then the angel sort of screams. Yeah. Driving over a corpse. Oh my god. There's so many fucking ideas in this movie. There are so many ideas. And so many of them are so cool. And so many of them are so cruel. Like, Ultra Power Super Mech just versus the world. It's dope as fuck. It's probably the best version of that I've ever seen. She ends up on a timer. And it just thrills her, right? She's just like, yes, more. Destroy. We know how this goes. This doesn't end up going well eventually. She slaps a fucking helicopter. Wow, that animation is so cool. Slap. And then grabs it. And then slams it into another helicopter. And they explode into a spray of debris. And it looks right? Like there's no reference material for helicopter slammed into helicopter by giant mech. It doesn't exist. There's no reference material for that. It's all, what do we think this could look like? And they don't go the easy route of just being like, well, it explodes. No. It turns into a spray of hand-drawn debris. Like, all the parts of that helicopter deconstructed and blasted around it. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? And she smacks another one, right? And it's a different explosion of helicopter parts. Oh, right, she axe kicks it. And it's a completely different explosion of helicopter parts. And none of them, like, disappear or appear out of nowhere. They all look like genuine pieces of this helicopter have just been separated and spread out across the screen. And then all fall in a reasonable way. I don't know what a helicopter being kicked by a giant mech looks like, but I feel like I just saw it. Another different explosion of helicopter parts, and some of them come flying at the camera. Before exploding in spectacular fashion, which is then used as a screen wipe to Super Ava being fucking badass. Anybody know who key animated those? Because they're a fucking legend. Okay, and then we are introduced to the Ava series. The nine of them, I guess. They are some real creepy beasties. That is what they are. And I'm guessing... Oh, Kaoru number 1. What? I thought all the dummy plugs were Ray dummy plugs. They're Kaoru? What? Oh my god, and the way they drop in is so fucking crazy. Spread out these wingsuit things. What the fuck? What a crazy idea. And they've got these... Their weapons are so weird. And apparently they turn into spears of Longinus, but not really. But kind of. And they circle around her like vultures. Fuyutsuki has his eyes closed for some reason. Do they plan to start it here? Yes, indeed. And we are introduced to these creatures by all of them landing, and then their wings swoop in impossible fashion. And if they have S2 engines in them, then they're fucking ridiculously powerful. Misato's casually just like, I want you to destroy all of them. And Asuka's like, challenge accepted. Doesn't go so well, but yeah. Shinji's sad boying real hard. Misato's like, I'm just gonna drag you. You're gonna walk of your own accord, or I'm gonna drag you. We're going. Yeah. But she likes it. She likes the challenge. This is the respect, the need for others to believe in her that she needs. She gets that. And off she goes. And it's fucking brutal. Now, in a sense, this sort of brutality and over the top... Oh my god, that explosion when she lands is amazing. This sort of brutality and over the top action feels in a way like it's a little bit tongue in cheek. Like Ano is looking at the audience saying, "So you didn't get it the first time, huh? Well, is this what you want? You want spectacle? Because I tried to tell you what I was saying and you didn't get it. So do I have to butter you up with spectacle for you to get invested before I can actually say what I want to say?" Now that's not to downgrade it. It's fucking amazing spectacle in and of itself. But this is part of why I said I think it's a good thing that there's a split in the middle of the film. Because this first portion feels like buttering us up. Like, okay, you wanted the crazy spectacular ending to Ava, here it is. You wanted the end of the psychological aspects, here's that too. Are you happy now? It feels like he's saying to us, are you happy now? Have you got what you wanted yet? And yes, I'm more than happy. This is spectacular in both ways. And inventive, and imaginative, and well-directed, and amazingly choreographed, and really fucking cool. Oh my god, it just explodes! And then that explodes! Is that... Okay. Was Yutaka Nakamura on this? Let's look up the ANN real quick, shall we? Anime News Network, End of Evangelion. Daisuke Yamauchi. Yutaka Nakamura is not listed. Okay, I'm not surprised. I was just wondering because I saw some cubes there and I was like, I don't know key animators well enough to know who's doing what cuts and stuff. But, I'm interested. Definitely interested. Okay, whatever. It's a tangent. That's an aside. Let's keep on rolling through this film, shall we? So we walk toward this cross. And we go in. And she gets shot. In fact, given the angle of it, she probably takes a bullet that would have hit Shinji. Not sure if that's relevant thematically, but interesting. Should we pursue? No, we're going to explode that place anyway. She puts on a brave face for Shinji. Yes, it is. And this is where things first start getting real in the Eva sense. There's still time. The power is on. Everything is possible. You just have to do it. And then she sort of kanedons him. Kanedon? Hand wall. Kazedon? Hand wall. Kabedon? Yep, kabedon. Okay. Except with the genders reversed. And we definitely see that in Shinji. He is not comfortable. Even when the character who's closest to an acting substitute for or surrogate for his mother is dying in front of him, he is unable to look her in the eye or take her seriously because he's weirded out by the sexuality, by being close to a woman. You're on your own, you'll have to make your own decisions. And he continues with the I can't routine. Because all I'll do is hurt people. Every time I do things, people get hurt. And I don't want to hurt people because it hurts me more to hurt people than it hurts me to stay isolated and confined and to not hurt anyone. I'm not worthy because I don't understand anything. In this case, it's sort of like I'm not worthy of having a life or doing anything because I don't understand the world. Okay, the fact of the matter, Shinji, is that nobody understands the world. Everyone's stupid. All humans are idiots with warped perceptions, and we have to do it anyway. Life. It's hard. Get used to it. I'm incapable of doing anything good for anyone else. And here his self-hatred comes back, and he references, I did something horrible to Asuka, and I killed Kaoru. This idealized version of myself, right? Potentially, at least somebody wrote that in one of the comments. Right, I did something terrible to Asuka. Fair enough. None of these things are false. But are they a reason to stop moving? I'm dishonest and a coward. All I ever do is hurt people, so I'd rather do nothing. But that will hurt people more, Shinji. If you hate suffering, die. Life is pain. But sitting here and dying is not going to solve anything. Yes, he hates himself. That's why he hurts others, right? Okay, so this is a much more effective way of stating something that was also stated in before. It's like more nuanced, I think. Because it's not just that he has convinced himself that everybody hates him because he hates himself. It's that he ends up hurting others through his actions because his actions are derived from self-hatred. It like reflects outward. That was your decision, so it makes it a valid choice. It's what you wanted, so all of this is you bringing this to fruition. But you're not me, you can never understand me. You won't understand, you don't understand, blah blah blah. Of course not. So what? And then she uses that, I will never forgive you as long as I live. Which we know is not very long. She has her own flaws. Everyone does. Nobody can understand each other's. And then she says, I've made tons of stupid mistakes that I've later regretted, and I keep doing it. Isn't that the most painful thing? Knowing that you've made mistakes and then continuing to make the same mistakes? Life, man. Life. And I keep doing it. Can't stop. Hollow joy and vicious self-hatred. And yet, I gain from it. I learn from it. I learn something about myself. And then she pleads with him. Find out why you came here. Find out why you exist at all. And I feel like this is both in the context of the story and in a more meta sense. Why does this piece of media exist? Why does Shinji, the character, exist? And I feel confident in saying that because of the live action segments that we get later, especially with the audience. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. That's actually another layer to this whole thing. It was as a dialogue with the audience. Because Shinji exists as a representation in our minds as well as his actual existence as a character in the story. And likewise, he exists as a representation in Anno's mind, which is not perfectly portrayed in the story. It can't be. We can still gain from watching Shinji's actions if we don't understand him. But then Misato gives him the necklace. And he barely promises her. And then she kisses him. An adult kiss. I don't know how to take this. She knows she's dying. What's this for? Misato, what's this for? I'm not sure. The door opens and he's torn away. And that's the last that Shinji sees of real Misato. And the elevator starts to go down and she dies. Begins dying. And then she wonders to Kaji whether she did the right thing. If I'd known it would end like this. And this is a very classic thing, to have a character who knows they're dying talk about something trivial, like changing the carpets. And then even in death, she's seeking some kind of comfort, some reassurance that she did what was right. And Rei is there as she dies. In just a frame or two before the explosion. And Shinji is alone in the elevator. The elevator feels much smaller than it has before. It may be a different elevator. Regardless, it's much smaller. And it frames him as very alone. In a tight space. Isolated. He's wiping his tears and he notices the blood on his hands. Misato's blood. And blood from the kiss. And he weeps. Then we cut from this highly emotional death of a favorite character into Asuka tearing Ava's apart. Return of the Prog Knife, just tearing him apart. Snaps the blade. Blood everywhere. Sprinting out of the water on a time limit. God damn. Also, there are these spirals of, like, I don't know, trace energy or something that come off of the Ava's weapons. You can see him here. Here. Let me check recordings. Make sure all my recordings are going well. Okay, good. God damn. Spectacle. And then this grab, very much like the Angel's grab. But she's just powering through. Tearing Ava's apart. Rolls to dodge this one and takes trees out as she does. It's insane. God, just the way this foot crashes and just explodes a hillside. And another hillside. Just really sells the scale of this conflict. It's fucking awesome. And then cut to Shinji being a lonely boy. Ah, well, I guess I can't get to it. God damn it, Shinji, get in the robot. Stuff exploding, rocks flying, clang, clang. Yeah, I see these like spirals of energy coming off of them. I don't know what those are. I don't get it. It looks really cool though. Oh my god. And then shit gets ready to begin. Right. Akagi, who in 26 or 25, what's one or the other, we see just floating face down in a pool of LCL. Now we know how she got there. She set up the Magi to do a thing and failed. She was betrayed by her mother. Oh yeah, this Asuka face is fucking amazing. Look at that. Look at that face. Fucking amazing. Gendo standing in front of Rei, protecting her. A loving daughter's final request. Denied. Beep. Nani? Nope. How could you choose your lover instead of me? Then what does he say, I wonder? Akagi Ritsuko. I truly... Anatagaski? I don't know. What did Gendo say to Akagi? I don't know. Nobody knows. But she calls him a liar and smiles. And Rei's there. The last thing that Akagi sees is Rei looking down at her. Bloop. Ah, this mug. Yeah. This mug, which then later we see again being covered by LCL with the bullets next to it, is a scene that occurs in one of the ending episodes, and Gendo is voicing over that particular section, saying that humans are fragile things. And that fits really well. Yeah. Yeah, it fits really well. Less than a minute left, we amp up the tension. This thing exploding. Again, all the stuff breaking is just like, oh, I believe that that's the way that thing would break. I cannot be defeated. Mama is watching after me. Huh? Mama? Oh my god. She goes and she's ripping out Angel part or Ava parts. I guess if they're S2 engines, then they are Angel parts. Tension, 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 tension. Tension, 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 tension. And then one of these weapon things turns into the Spear of Longinus. I still don't understand how this is a thing. And then it stabs her through the face head. Pew! Stab. Oof. Felt that. And it's not just, feeling the injury here. She starts gushing blood out of her eye. And it's later bandaged up, so... I don't know. Leaning back, laying on the frickin' spear. Oh my god. Yeah, just pouring blood. Trying to make the Ava move. Failing. And then the defeated Ava series is not so defeated. And man, the way they rise is freaking creepy. I feel like we've seen that particular scene before. Like an Ava standing up like that. Have we? I feel like we have. I don't know. Hot diggity dog, it's crazy. They all take off. They fly over to her and they start taking bites. And it's real gory. I mean, real gory. Just tear off chunks. Nom 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 nom. Fuck! And Asuka's experiencing all of that. Getting her insides torn out. Fuck! And then she switches from, I don't want to die, to, I'll kill you. Full nuts. Oh, and the way that there's like a fingernail of the Ava hand is like torn off and the whole thing is just shredded. Oh my god. Berserker. Do you want to making fuck? Berserker. Berserker. Sorry. And then her arm splits open. That's her actual arm. That's not the Ava arm. That is her actual arm splitting open as the Ava arm is split open by a Spear of Longinus, just like... And then this triggers Ava Unit 01. And Shinji is like, there's nothing I can do! And at this point, I'm screaming, Shinji! Get to the robot! Unit 01 is finally awoken. Out it comes. Big cross of light. Our mission has failed, says one of the JSDF guys. So... I don't know. They call it the devil himself. This scene is fucking amazing. What's the sound design like on this? Is it just whooshing? It's just major whooshing. Right. Asuka. Not doing so hot, Ska. Real fucked up, Ska. Oh yeah, this eye is amazing. Flashes of awfulness. Shinji screams. I believe that is the end of part 1. Or 25. Right? Yep. Then we go into like 5 minutes of these credits with this song, which I think is called Thanatos playing, and it's really cool. Okay. Go back a bit. Alright. We get a thank you from Ano. Yeah. I wonder who the 5 women are that he's referring to here. Because cast, staff, friends. Okay. The 5 women. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. My love for you is like a truck. Berserker. Do you want to making fuck? Berserker. Berserker. Okay. Let us continue with crazy part. I have already joined with Adam, right? The body of Adam is within his hand. Forbidden fusion of Adam and Lilith, which will trigger the impact. Okie dokie. Ego barrier is already falling apart. Or her AT field is already falling apart. So, she is losing her shape because of that. Real gross. Lots of body horror here. And it's just getting started. Release the AT field, release the barrier of your mind. Discard the unnecessary physical shape. Okie dokie. And then take me to Yui's side. But if all souls are one, then Yui ceases to be, and you cease to be. So you become one with everything, but there is no Yui and there is no you. So grabs her tit, and his hand goes straight through. It's real weird. And then starts to move down. And she feels real weird. My purest heart for you. Ah! I think we get a repeat of the scene of realizing that Asuka is all fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. Flashes of Ava gore. A crazy zoom out. Like, let's talk about this zoom out really quick. Because we go through multiple types of lenses. I think we start fisheye. Yeah. And we zoom out to a more reasonable perspective. Like a high depth of field lens. Look at that. That's super cool. That's kind of nutty. And lots of flashes of craziness. Explode, release all the restraints, and more wings. And then the Spear of Longinus is just insta-recalled. I don't get this. I don't know how this happened. I don't know what this was. It was like embedded in the moon, and now it's zipping in, and it zips over to his throat and sits there. Anybody got an explanation for that? Because I don't. I don't understand that at all. And then Sele is like, we did it! It's gonna happen. The thing is gonna happen, and then it starts to happen. And they do sort of a spiritualist mystical chant, bring forth the true form of the Eva series. The true form will evangelize humanity. Eva, evangelize, Evangelion. Okay. I don't know if that actually works in the Japanese, but cool translation. Through indiscriminate death and through prayer, we shall return to our original state. Okay? And our souls will be at peace. But your souls will cease. They will all be one. Let it begin. What was that? What did it just chuck? Oh, it's a chunk of Asuka. Holy shit. That's real freaky. So then we impale Shinji. The Spear of Longinus is like tracking by his neck. We impale him as if on a cross, creating the holes in his hands, the stigmata. Which I'm just gonna hand wave as Anno, thinking it looks really cool. They bite on these ethereal AT field wing things. God damn. Asuka is tattered. And they are all standing there. Just flying there. Floating there. These guys can't do anything about it. Do they plan to use Unit 1 as a medium? Yes. Ah, so the stigmata appear on his hands as well. Let us restore the Tree of Life. And then we finally meet a member of Sail. Fuck. I will never get it right. They all glow. Create glowy circles, which are the Kabbalah. Except that, is it upside down? It is upside down. That's interesting, because these two at the top are at the bottom of the Kabbalah symbol thing. Here, look. See? Foundation and kingship. they're down here at the bottom. Whereas here, the two pieces are here. With beauty in the center of everything. And in this case, that's represented by Shinji here. Weird. Again, is this meant to say something, or is this Anno going, that looks cool? I don't know. Dimensional values invert, can't quantify it. It's an anti-AT field. Let me get the full thing of the Kabbalah here. And it is all upside down. Tabula. Can I find a thing with the Hebrew all over it? Find a version of this with that? No, not really. There's no reason to look so deep into the symbolism. It's not worth it. There's enough stuff to talk about, not even looking at that. Baka Teeaboo. Has the third impact actually begun? Indeed it has. Shit's legit. Right, our mission is a failure. But this guy behind him is just, like, grinning. Huh? Our mission is a failure. But weren't they sent here by Seili? Impact. Explosion. Surface ground layers are melting. And they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. It'll hold. Oh, okay. I don't know if I believe that. Hot diggity dog, this is dope. Becomes a giant eye with an egg in the center of it, and that egg is the black moon, which we talked about earlier. I guess? Yeah. This curved perspective is really cool. Here to represent eternity, the Red Earth Purification Ceremony. First, the geofront returned to its original form. So, if this is the black moon, then was the white moon the one formed when the second impact occurred? It's a black moon. The egg of Lilith. Source of all human life. We no longer wish to return inside her shell. But I thought they did wish to return inside her shell. Wasn't that the point? But that is for Lilith herself to decide. Oh, it was Fuyutsuki saying that. Okay. Okay. It appears to have begun. And then Rei rejects Gendo's purpose. Reunite me with Yui once more. Nope. I am not your puppet. You're playing with things beyond your control, sir. And it looks like she's absorbed Adam and taken off his hand in the process. Because he's shown later without a hand. Because I am not you. And then her half arm regrows. The same way that the Ava's arm did. It's interesting. I didn't make that connection at first. She floats up to Lilith. And I'm home. Welcome home. God, that's so crazy. And Lilith, the creature wearing the mask. Remember how I said in the first time we saw this that it looked like cloth draped around things? That feeling is now animated. And it's fucking crazy. And this creature falls into the LCL, and the mask falls off. And it becomes the shape of Ayanami Rei. Lilith original. Gains a form and identity from her soul. That makes sense, I guess. Not an angel? No. Not quite. Much bigger. Much, much bigger. And passing through them. No AT field. No border. She freaks. Reasonably. Shinji holding on to this piece of Misato. And the stigmata are no longer on his hands, are they? No. Hey, Ray. How's it going? How you doing? You doing good? Having a good day? Ah! She blinks and her eyes go from black pits to her eyes. And Shinji is horrified. So then, this set of lines, this adds a bunch of stuff, because they require the destruction of the ego of Eva Unit 01's pilot for humanity to be completed. For this to occur, because Eva Unit 1 has become God, and Shinji is the guy inside, everything rests on him. And he is the perfect candidate for this because he is probably the most likely person to accept instrumentality and accept this peacefulness of not having responsibility. He's been wanting it the whole time. So, now, everything falls to him. Celia's all staring at him like, all right, buddy, finish our plans for us. Accept. But he doesn't. We get some really crazy cool imagery. The wings becoming eyes. Fucking amazing. The other Evas spreading out into this weird sideways thing. Just like multiple infinities. I don't know what it is. It's like a magnetic field. Resonating. I don't know what it is. Somebody let me know if you know what this is supposed to be. Because I feel like I've seen something like this before, but I don't know what it is. Yeah. And then all of the other Evas, they grow Ray faces in the creepiest possible way ever possible. Real fucking creepy. And Shinji's face right here is my spirit animal. Like, Shinji, I get you, bro. Where is it? It's not there. Yeah, right there. Let's save a screenshot of that really quick. Take snapshot. Okay. That is a pretty good me right there. The fuck's going on? Horrifying. And we get lots of flashes. And an S2 engine appears. Or a core. One or the other. And he is no longer in control. Struggling for control. Destrato has begun to manifest. Let's listen to that real quick. It's Destrudo. For sure. Which is, let's look it up to make sure. Libido Destrudo. Destrudo, term introduced by Italian psychoanalyst Edoardo Weiss to denote the energy of the death instinct on the analogy of libido, and thus to cover the energy of the destructive impulse in Freudian psychology. The opposite of libido, the urge to create, an energy that arises from the eros or life drive, and is the urge to destroy arising from Thanatos. Oh, hey, that's that song in the middle. Death, and thus an aspect of what Sigmund Freud termed the aggressive instincts whose aim is destruction. Recognized aggression/destrudo to secondary narcissism, something generally only described in terms of the libido turning toward the self. I'm going to look at secondary narcissism. When the libido withdraws from objects outside the self, above all the mother, producing a relationship to social reality that includes the potential for megalomania. This megalomania has no doubt come into being at the expense of object libido. This leads us to look upon the narcissism which arises through the drawing on of object cathexes as a secondary one is superimposed on primary narcissism. Okay. I guess I should read primary narcissism as well. Exclusive self-love might not be as abnormal as previously thought and might even be a common component in the human psyche. Okay. Libidinal complement to the egoism of the instinct of self-preservation, the desire and energy which drives one's instinct to survive. This is the primary narcissism. Oh, so the desire for your own ego. Oh. Well, that's one way of framing things. According to Freud, people are born without a sense of themselves as individuals, or ego. The ego develops during infancy and the early part of childhood, only when the outside world, usually in the form of parental controls and expectations, intrudes upon primary narcissism, teaching the individual about the nature and standards of his social environment from which he can form the ideal ego, an image of the perfect self towards which the ego should aspire. As it evolved, the ego distanced itself from primary narcissism, formed an ego ideal, and proceeded to cathect objects. Freud regarded all libidinous drives as fundamentally sexual and suggested that ego libido directed inward toward the self, cannot always clearly be distinguished from object libido directed toward persons or objects outside oneself. One thing that he observed was called magical thinking, such as the belief that a person can impact reality by wishing or willpower. It demonstrates a belief in the self as powerful and able to change external realities, which Freud believed was a part of normal human development. And then that leads into the explanation of secondary narcissism, which then leads into narcissism, relationships, and self-worth. According to Freud, to care for someone is to convert ego libido into object libido by giving some self-love to another person, which leaves less ego libido available for primary narcissism and protecting and nurturing the self. When that affection is returned, so is the libido, thus restoring primary narcissism and self-worth. Any failure to achieve or disruption of this balance causes psychological disturbances. In such a case, primary narcissism can be restored only by withdrawing object libido to replenish ego libido. The diminished self-love should be replenished by the affection and caring returned to him. You could say Shinji might be a study on that. A representation of that. I think that's probably a pretty solid argument. I'm not going to make that argument, but let me know what you think. That's interesting. So yeah, this little mention of Destrudo here, I think that's important. Islet's ego considering that we continuously talk about ego borders, and love, self-hatred, all that jazz. I think we're on the right track here, guys. Freudian psychoanalysis. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that in here. I can't take it anymore. I just can't take it. Would you rather it be this image? Oh, you mean the image of the perfect self that you've created? Like the ego ideal? Maybe. But it's still the same being. a trick. All right, so then I don't understand this. Getting stabbed by the spear of Longinus. The fruit of life is held by the angels. The fruit of wisdom is held by men. It sort of opens into, yeah, like a mouth or a vagina. Really difficult to say. And then the whole thing is subsumed into this cross of drills. Becoming a tree of life. Okay. Will it be an arc to save mankind from the vacuum of the third impact? Maybe. Or is it the demon that will destroy us all? I don't know. All of that fate is inside Ikari's son. I don't know. This ray is your heart. Okay. Do they both switch? Yeah, the one in the back becomes Kaoru and the one in the front becomes Ray. Whoa, that's really crazy. That's really crazy. So this is Shinji's smile with Yui overlaid. She embodies your hopes and your dreams. But what are dreams? It all becomes water. And I thought that upon seeing this that we were back in the room, the isolated room. And I think we are in a sense. But instead of choosing this sort of a shaky metaphor of this confined room, we go to the sandbox. Got this pendulum swing, which is sort of a mirror to the pendulum that we saw in the one office. Hella grainy. Thought if I came here, I would find, what does he want to find? I would find what I was looking for. And it's like this is a scene being projected by these things in the background, or their cameras watching. I'm not sure. It's interesting. Let's build a sandcastle. Yeah. Okay. So then he's building with them, and it speeds up. And they are creepy, weird things. The fuck is that? They're on a stage beyond. So he's left alone. And he continues building. Oh yeah, what's that thing up in the up here? What is that? Because it goes away, right? It moves, right? Does it move? Yeah. It's a person looking down watching him. What is it? Anybody got any theories as to what that thing was? It's there and it's intentional. We're supposed to see it move. Everything else in this shot is pretty much symmetrical. That's the one thing that's out of place. Weird. And Shinji alone. This swing acting like a clock. The sun going down. He creates this pyramid. Builds a sandcastle of sorts. Right? The lights come on. He's out here late alone. Building, 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 building. But for what? To destroy it. Swinging less and less. Destroys it. And then is overwhelmed with what? Grief? Self-loathing? And then he starts again. And cries. This reminds me of a thought I had a while ago about the way that we construct ourselves in our own minds. We piece together pieces of information that lock together, and every layer that we add to that, we're able to build more complex thoughts until they build up into sort of a pyramid or a tree. And then we get near the top of that tree, and we realize that something in the bottom layers is wrong, and the whole thing shatters. Or we come across some new piece of information from outside that we hadn't accounted for. And I'm talking about building up a set of perceptions, a set of worldviews, and more complicated worldviews. And my theory or my thought was that what they point to is everything is sort of aligned in a direction and pointing to sort of a horizon of grand truth. And we can never reach it because every time we get anywhere near it, we find out that something in our foundations was wrong and that we were inevitably pointed in the wrong direction. And so we have to deconstruct our entire sense of understanding of the world in order to reconfigure those bottom parts and rebuild the whole pyramid up. I don't think that's what's being said here. It's interesting that it reminds me of it. And then instead of not showing this scene and just showing Misato freaking out, not wanting Shinji to see this side of her, we have Shinji standing there as a voyeur, watching. As Misato makes those mistakes she was talking about. And says, I guess I just do things like that to prove I exist. Similar to what we got in 25-26. But it feels better. It feels more like the idea is captured here. It's nice to feel needed, even if only physically. Makes me feel wanted, and so it makes me feel happy. Just an easy way to convince yourself that you're worth something. But what's wrong with that? Is it that it's shallow? Yes, this is also me, says Misato. The me that Shinji has never known. And in this case, accepting reality is much more clear-cut as accepting the reality of self. Focus on the hand. You will never understand. All these Shinjis, all these emotions. You never talk to me, but you expect me to understand you. Slamming the door in his face. Did you ever really try? Yes. No. And this is the Asuka inside Shinji's head, right? I know about all your little jerk-off fantasies about me. Then try being nice to me. Why won't anyone be nice to me? Respect me. Don't forsake me. Lie. It's all colored by your self-hate. Ambiguity only causes me more pain. Hello, audience. Don't leave me. And he's off screaming into a corner while they're all standing there waiting for him to get over himself. Oh yeah. The scenes of characters moving into the foreground, in and out of the foreground and background here are amazing. I think this scenario works a lot better than anything in 26. And the angles are fantastic. The animation is stellar. It's the easiest way to keep from getting hurt. So that's why he goes, help me, Asuka. Misato's booze collection has grown a lot. You never even loved yourself. Damn straight. Never even learned to like yourself. Pathetic. I've seen that as a meme. So as soon as we saw this neck, you know it's coming. Stained and burned by the coffee. Someone please help me, but you won't help yourself. Help me, help me. And then he flips his shit. I feel you, Pen Pen. Raging, 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 raging. And this is the image of Asuka, right? Not the real Asuka. Not a scene really happening. And so he strangles her. Unable to cope with the existence of the other. So he lashes out violently. Unable to cope with someone who won't understand him. Who won't help him. And everything he says about her can be thrown right back at him. You want me to understand you, to help you, but you won't even talk to me. And is this young Rei with Akagi's mom? A mirror? Maybe. There are all these crazy fucking drawings. I don't know what these are. A lot of horrible stuff here. Like, what the fuck? And just a cute kitty. What? What? Is that Asuka? As a cat? These all had subs, didn't they? Ah, fuck. Do they not appear when I frame by frame it? They do not appear when I frame by frame it. Where are we? 105? Okay, let's fix this. Open with NBCHC. Mutando. Let me switch the thingamajiggy. It was like 105, 106, something. Yeah. Subtitle. Yeah, okay. Okay. Do do ba do boom. Ba da ba da ba da do. Frame by frame. Frame by frame. Episode 1, Angel Attack. Oh. Oh, they're the titles. Oh. Phone that never rings. Rain after running. Ray Beyond Her Heart. Showdown in Tokyo 3. A Human Work. Asuka Strikes. With one accord in a flash. Magma Diver. Why was that one red? In the Still Darkness. The Value of a Miracle is. Angel Invasion. The Throne of Souls. Lies in Silence. The Sickness unto Death and The Fourth Child. The Judgment of Life. A Man's Fight. Form of Mind. Form of Man. The Birth of Nerve. Right. At least be humane. Tears. Nothing. The Final Messenger. Right, 24. End of the World. The Beast that shouted love at the heart of the world. Evangelion. Death. Rebirth. 25. Air. Whoa. Oh, this is the sequence where it holds each cell behind each cell, right? Is this that sequence? Yeah. It leaves it just keeps piling cells on there. Oh, it's freaking nutty. Is it piling new cells on there, or is it removing cells to reveal what's behind them? It's removing them. Yeah. Huh. Everything going backward. Wow. This is one of the most visually interesting sequences. And then Kaoru. Oh yeah, and this whole sequence with the weird edges. This with the what looked like CGI walking things. Paper walking things. I don't know. Nothing ever changes, so they can all just die. I should just die too. Let's go through these shots. Bag. Card. The cello case. Bach. Misato with a kiss on it. Why are you here? The letter from his father. The room. The crying Shinji. Reaching -0. What? The anti-AT field is expanding and materializing. The egg floats up. Giant ray appears. Fucking what? Individual entities become unable to maintain their separate forms, and indeed it happens. Chamber of Guff is open. I don't know what this arm is. There are rays standing over everybody, converting all of their bodies into LCL. Hi, buddy. Bop! And everyone imagines the person they most want to be with. as far as I can tell. How did that happen? Like, Misato kind of tackles him, and then he pops, and she just disappears? Whoa, yep. He pops, and she just disappears. Hello! Come play with us. Fuyutsuki is also seeing Yui. It's interesting. You see this cup again and the bullets. She's at the computer. And then Akagi writes down something. Maya. We see the computer screen for just a flash. I need you. Wanting to be needed. And then the Sailors are popping as well. And he's the final one, and he pops. All is right with the world, he says before dissolving into goo. And then where his clothes were, it's like a mechanical contraption instead of a self. So there's a human there, but also part machine. Heavily cyborgized? Linked to something? I don't know. I've waited for so long. And then here we get... This was the craziest reveal of the whole thing. Gendo is a grown-up Shinji. He is a hedgehog. All I ever do is cause him pain, and so he's run away, and he wishes that he had done nothing at all. It was better when I did nothing at all. Were you afraid of Shinji? Didn't believe that anyone could love me. Just like Shinji. I don't deserve to be loved. Just like Shinji. So you were running away. Rejected the others so that you would never be hurt. Because you had never hurt them. Terrified by the bonds that people formed, so you closed your heart. Oh, that changes everything. Willing retribution. And he just gets nommed by the Eva. By Yui. And it changes when it noms him, doesn't it? Wait. Yeah. Does it lose its armor plates? No, okay, it doesn't actually change. Yeah, it does. Alright, I guess it doesn't. Okay. Just the angle. Oh god, right. The rays with the frickin' spears just all piercing themselves, and they all kind of have orgasms while they do this? Yeah. What the fuck? I got no explanation for that. It's real freaky. Oh yeah, the music choice here was amazing. Right. And then we just get a slideshow of the most amazingly fucking weird shit that I've ever seen in my life. Oh yeah, we get a vagina sprouting on her face, forehead, with like an eye. in the middle of it. And then a giant spear comes down and pierces the eye and gets like slurped into it, and it's real weird. That's pretty strange. And it's a sea of ray souls. All kick swimming. Nani the fuck? We get a shitload of flashed frames. It's really gorgeous. It's like gorgeous craziness, and this focus on the threshold in the background. There are like actual scenes playing behind these flashing frames. I don't know what this is, but it looks really cool, right? It looks real cool. Right. If you don't like it, you can just run away. And then we go into something that's rather close to the end of 26 in terms of its vibe. Also, this live action shit. Reality. The cat. The world. Industry. A swing. Also, they had to, like, put a camera underneath this swing and then swing it and then get out of the way. Also, booby. And get out of the way to get this shot, and it's a really cool shot, and I like it. I like this shot a lot. Crowds. Dreams. Then this is 2 overlaid shots of the same crowd filling that stadium, or filling that auditorium, which was shown empty before, moving in different directions. One of them moving much faster than the other. Really crazy. And a bunch of multiple exposure shots of people walking around, and then there are just two cosplayers here, and it's Rei and Asuka, and you can see the little bibbly bops in their hair. It's a Rei cosplayer and an Asuka cosplayer, and they're just there. And that's reality. And then we say hi to the crowd. And then it's an empty crowd. Where is my dream? It's where reality ends. Or it's a continuation of reality. Where is reality? It's where the dream ends. Right. Ah, flashes, shots. Lots of frames. Let's get lots of frames. Yeah. I like frames. Oh. After seeing Evangelion, I felt very impressed, so I somehow sent this letter. I'm a middle school student like Shinji. First of the I saw Evangelion, it seems I truly recognize myself in these feelings because of Eva. I want to see that. Why do I say this? To explain that that would take a while, but Shinji and I are alike, depressed and helpless and introverted. Seeing Shinji being worried and troubled, and I felt the same in my heart. Analysis that said how Shinji couldn't run away from the pain or his unpleasant feelings that were attached. I have felt this way too. At the beginning, I really like it. That's why this anime gives me that light feeling. The last scene on TV, Shinji accepts everyone and they all congratulate him. That was a very nice end, and I felt very happy. This year I graduate from middle school, and now my focus is on being a high school student. So that's why I'll now make my best effort. I'm going to see the Eva movie. I'm worried about what will happen to Shinji in the movie, but I like the last scene on the TV series a lot, and thanks to Eva, I started to like myself, and that has made me very happy. Mr. Ono, please keep working on Eva a lot more, and thank you so much for everything. Appreciate my own existence even more. Parallel the feelings of the main character, Shinji. That's how I feel, thanks to Mr. Ano and all the staff for helping to liberate our hearts and souls. And for all of these feelings, thank you very much. Studying the graffiti, how is it possible that it says that? It seems that some religious group... I'm not aware of my own evils. Is that referring to the graffiti that was sprayed on the Gainax office? Heaven's punishment, well deserved. Is that what this shot is? Rape Man. Yeah, Gainax shop. Sex. Something. Gainax made a terrible work. It's also pathetic. I've been waiting since the summer for something like this. Please make it for the Golden Week. Amazing, what a great production of Rebirth. Even many days after I saw the movie, I still can't stop thinking about it. This really astounded me. This movie really develops a very deep and serious theme. Shinji's falls into despair, and Asuka's arrogance appear to be some sort of escape from the darkness in her heart. These people have difficulties in dealing with their feelings, and so in their own ways, Shinji by totally collapsing and falling apart, and Asuka by letting her arrogance cover up her inner weakness, they each work toward the same goal, to come to terms with themselves. All the confusing feelings of her fear and euphoria. Because all Ano wants is to touch people. So all of this criticism... all of these thoughts of people who were affected by the series or by Rebirth. Are all part of this movie. Ano, I'll kill you. The death threats. Interesting. Actually slowing it down and reading those, seeing what they were, just knowing that it was all various criticism from various perspectives. A lot of it very positive. A lot of it, thank you, and I hope you do the best. But also some of it deeply disturbed and disturbing. All of that is sort of a mirror of Shinji's twisted notions of self and other. It's fascinating. And this spray of blood is like the spear of Longinus pointed at Shinji's neck. The sea. Sea of LCL. An ambiguous world where you cannot tell where you end and others begin. And they're in a sexual position. Although her arms are inside his chest, which is a little weird. Maybe not the sexiest thing. This is a world where we are all one, and Misato starts to drift away from him. This isn't right, he says. And his face here is the same as the face later in the sea. The shattered ray face. Looking up. Which do you wish for? For others to exist? If so, then they will suffer and feel pain and loneliness. Or you can just stay here. They will feel fear once more. Okay. That's clear cut. Accepting that. Let us be split. We can still hold hands. Thank you. There was nothing good where I ran away from. I didn't exist, and so no one existed. And vice versa. This film is an embodiment of the hope that people will understand each other. A manifestation of that. But you're willing to bear the pain because the connections you've made were real. And so, instrumentality rejected. Oh yeah, this piece of animation is so gruesome and freaky and amazing. Power of imagination is the ability to create your own future, to create your own flow of time. Every soul a little cross of light. Its own AT field, tiny, but powerful. But people have to act on their own. They have to choose to become individual, to grab the spear, and the spear becomes this really interesting shape. Yeah, floating there. A helix, but just one. Says goodbye to his mother. Ray's face shatters. Yes. A clone of God, it will be very, very lonely. And it has this flowing hair. One more final, I need you. Now this is the most interesting scene, and I don't know quite how to read it. So Shinji emerges from the instrumentality. And as far as we know, he is the only person that we see who has the will to turn himself into, to gain a form of his own volition. As far as we know, there could be many others, but he's the only one that we see, and Asuka is there. This girl who he's been in conflict with, in like a push-pull relationship. This other. And like he does in the dream world, cannot stand her existence, so he goes to strangle her. She reaches out and touches him on the cheek. And he stops. And he weeps. She doesn't fight him. Not at all. She reaches out and returns affection to him. Well, I'm gonna be thinking about this forever. This works. This film works. It adds so much. It adds so goddamn much to this show. I'm gonna be thinking about this for fucking ever. And I'm constantly going to... I just know that going forward I'm going to be finding things and drawing connections between them and Eva, and using this as a text that functions as a filter for the world. Okay. I've got 4 hours recorded. I'm gonna go and edit this and start the long process of rendering it out. To do that, I have to stop recording. So, I've been Teeaboo. This has been End of Evangelion. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope to see you in the comment section. And I hope to catch you in whatever I end up watching next. Peace.